Hello, and welcome to the Cussing Pod, the only flesh and blood podcast with hosts that answer listener questions. Today, we're going to be talking about all the things that Compendium of Rathe is going to fix about flesh and blood in CC and Sage, all the things it's going to maybe not change so much. But first, Leo, I want to know your top three Majestics from the set.
Ooh, top three Majestics. There were quite a lot of good Majestics from the set. Also, a few stinkers, in my opinion. Top three, we'll go number one, Dynastic Diadem, the Fang helmet that stops your fealty tokens from being destroyed.
And why do you
Which is
like that
just
one so much?
I love Fang. I think Fang's really cool. I just hate that every class gets a way to destroy all your fealty. It's a temper 2 head beast when you have 3 or more fealty, which means as soon as you get turned on, it's temper 2, which is great.
Yeah,
Um,
and you can even cash it
it's
in for the last block at the end of the game.
yeah, it's great. Good helmet.
Next, they should print one that says this but for rune chance.
No, they shouldn't.
I think my most favorite Majestic in this set, and I'm talking about design-wise, is Wind Cutter, the Ninja Majestic Arms. They
Yep.
attack react for 1 and tap to put a Shuriken onto the arena, but you can only activate it if you've hit 2 or more times. I really like this because it makes, what's it called, Silverwind Shuriken playable. It gives you an option for Ninja to have 3 breaking scales per game, which is really, really good. But it comes with the downside of you have to run this particular blue, and also you have to have hit 2 times in a chain. But I think it's really, really awesome for Katsu specifically. I think that probably not so important for Ira, but for Katsu, this seems really cool.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Number 2.
Number two, I'm going to go with Swordmaster's Shine. Another warrior card. I love warrior. Swordmaster Shine is a 3 for 5, but it costs 1 less for each counter on swords you control. This is great for, I assume, to be Hala, and also it's pretty good for Dorinthia.
It does
Um,
have both of them on the card, so
yeah. It's a 3 block. It's red, which is fine. But getting even 1 or 2 counters on Dawnblade and then having a +5 to get over for the second attack or even to pressure another counter is so good.
yeah.
It's just actually kind of insane that card was printed, in my opinion.
I like that it
Uh,
doesn't say reprise. That's my favorite thing about it.
yeah, yeah.
It's
When
kind
your
of
opponent
like
says no
a
blocks, great.
it's kind of like a just a nick where you're doing your math about, what the assassin can buff up, and you
Hmm.
just have to remember like, oh, Swordmaster Shine's a thing. Like if they have it, I can't play around that.
Yeah. Um, you kind of just have to hope that either they don't have any counters on their sword or they're not willing to pitch a blue for +5.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
your
two
second
two
best?
card +5 is not even bad in reaction.
Yeah.
My second favorite card is Lobotomy. Lobotomy is the new Assassin Majestic, which has really goofy art. It's a stealth card with all the stealth numbers, and then when it attacks, you can equip a Bitterclast from your inventory, which is one of the daggers. It's the worst dagger by a big mile. And when it hits a hero, if you control an Bitterclast, they lose all their hero text until, well, during the next turn. I think it's awesome that they gave any reason to run Orbitoclast, which is such a bad weapon.
Yeah.
Now, for all the praises this card has, as far as like Assassin getting a sort of humble effect, a crush confidence effect, it's kind of a one card 4 because you get to buy a Bitterclast and flick it. But it also has the downside of when Arachne Slippy rotates, a Bitterclast is their signature weapon. This card's just going to be textless. And I wonder if they're going to change how signature weapons work so that this doesn't happen.
I didn't even think about that actually. Yeah, that's a very good point. That would suck if that's just a card that has no text once Slippy goes.
Yeah. I like when they make bad cards good, like what they did
Absolutely.
with Edge of Autumn. So for now I like this card, but it has the downside of if signature weapons continue to function the way they do, it could one day be textless.
Yeah, interesting, interesting.
Third card, Leo.
Third card, it's Shield Beater. One hand hammer for Guardian. It's a 4 for 5, and cards you own named Visit Ambleheim get go again. Visit Ambleheim is a blue cost 3 block that says X. It cost X. Remove X -1 counters from a shield you control. This card's awesome. It's a one-handed 4 cost hammer, which is already just really cool.
Yeah.
Makes Titan's Fist interesting now because you get to choose whether your deck can handle paying 4 mana for to swing your hammer, or whether you want to stick with Titan's Fist, which is usually a 1 card. It also kind of makes Sledge not playable though. In a way.
Yeah, I feel like this has to kill Sledge, right?
It's got to, because there'd be no reason now not to run this and a shield over Sledge.
You lose 1 value each time you swing it, but
Yeah.
people are generally blocking with 2/3 blocks anyway, so you actually kind of don't.
Yeah, you're still pulling 2 cards from hand, and if not, they're taking the damage.
Yeah, maybe that one
It's
point matters into like Guardian Mirrors, but I feel like it doesn't matter very much.
Yeah, especially if you're playing Visit Ambleheim in your deck and you have seasoned
Savior.
So yeah, if you have this Visit Ambleheim, the shield, and you're swinging this, once every 3 turns with Tunic, or every off turn your opponent has, and you're playing Visit Ambleheim to get counters off your shield, you're probably making way more value than you are with just this Sledge. Surely.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. And your favorite third card?
My third favorite card is also a ninja card, which surprises me. Tigerine Reflex. This, I think, is an awesome card. So it's a red 0 for 3. It has combo with Crouching Tiger, and it gets +1 and go again. So far, that is exactly the same as a different Tiger combo card.
Mm-hmm.
But it also says attack reaction, discard this, target ninja attack gets +1, and you create a Crouching Tiger in your hand. So this card represents either a normal combo with a Crouching Tiger, or +1 to get an on hit, like Mask of Momentum, and or creating a Crouching Tiger to combo with the next thing. I think this card has the potential to push Tiger strategies into a little bit more of a real place without Zen. So maybe like Tiger Katsu, for example. Probably not Tiger Ira, but maybe. And if you don't have the Tiger that turn, you just get to discard this and not lose too much value.
Mm-hmm.
Super sweet.
Very cool.
All right. For our tournament report this week, we're going to talk about the Sage Calling London. So the calling was the day after the world premiere. So it's mostly people who went to the world premiere. It's a Sage event that had nearly, it had 7,500 people, 755 players, 7.5 people.
Yeah, that's all. The Sage really fell off.
Sage not so popular. So in the event, we had 142 Briar, proving that she is probably the best deck, or at least the most popular. Let me yeah, here we go. So yeah, we got 142 Briar, 68 Bravo Flattering Showman, 63 Fire, 46 Ira, 46 Oldhim, 35 Enigma, 30 KO, the discardy one, 28 Rhinar. So these heroes are really the solid lead, especially Briar, Bravo, and Fi.
By a long margin.
So from what I understand, Briar is the best deck in the format. It does the best numbers. It attacks incredible rates, like way beyond anything else. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Bravo has the option to fatigue or like dominate these decks. So if it hits like a really good dominate into Briar, into a really good dominate like 2 or 3 turns in a row, it just wins. but it can also turn around and fatigue if it needs to.
Yeah.
And then Phi, the benefit of Phi is that he is very strong into fatigue. So he beats things like Hyper Fatigue Oldhim, Hyper Fatigue Bravo by recurring Phoenix Flames and having a very strong weapon. Whereas Briar doesn't have that recursion, doesn't pitch, can't like stack any sort of combos really.
Mm.
Do
He
you
just
think
does mad damage.
yeah, yeah, she does. So do you think that these decks have any sort of predators out there? We see some things like Ira and Oldhim up there. What sort of predators in the metagame could you see rising up?
I think Briar is just gonna hold that top spot for so long. I feel like she's such a powerhouse of a deck that she doesn't have any predators besides maybe Super Fatigue Oldhim and Bravo. Um, what I can see rising though is honestly Vincent and Terra maybe.
Oh, I don't know.
I might,
Vince, yeah, I could see Terra. Vincent has a really rough matchup into Oldhim specifically.
yeah.
Not great into Bravo either.
She
And
seems
yeah,
okay into Fire Ira and she can high roll Briar.
yeah, she's pretty good into most of the aggro decks. Briar
Fatigue deck's just keeping her
mostly,
down.
Briar mostly wins because the deck is just too good.
Hmm.
It's kind of like Syndra in CC. Like the matchup is actually really good, but when she was at the top of her power, she would still win a fair few games because the deck was just way too good.
Yeah.
So I really do expect Briar to cop a ban. I think Terra could see some play. I don't understand what he does better than Bravo would be my issue.
Yeah, I personally I can see Briar and Oldhim copying a ban, which means there'll be a vacuum for a new elemental guardian, and he just happens to take the place of Oldhim.
Do you mean a hero ban or a card in deck ban?
Hero ban. I think
Yeah.
they're at the end of the season they're both gone
Yeah, but
easily.
that's 3 months. Still
That's
a lot of
true.
time. I think
Yeah.
Enigma has her place in this meta as well. Like she's probably really, really good into Oldhim. She's probably pretty good into Bravo Fluttering Showman, but she
Mm.
probably struggles massively into Briar as well as Fi and Ira.
Yeah.
I think Reinhardt's probably the same, where he's really good into the Guardians and really bad into the aggro decks.
Yeah. I could
Yeah.
see Briar copying a ban, honestly, because 142 representations, and the next lowest is half that, or not even half,
She's
below
so
half.
obviously the strongest and also simplest deck.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of do best numbers and hope your opponent doesn't disrupt you or, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I think
what
she could
yeah.
definitely cop a ban.
Yeah, we've talked about a few heroes that can like threaten guardians. But what
Mm.
can really threaten these aggro decks? Who's disruptive? We have Lexi. She has a lot of powerful ice on hits.
We also have Icelander, the disruptive deck.
It's
Giving
true.
frostbites to these aggro decks can really just kill them
Yeah, the big
on pivotal
weakness of
turns.
Icelander is just not having a real weapon. Crucible of
Yeah.
Aetherwith sucks so fucking bad, and Wayne Immune's too good, but um, I think that's her big weakness. Yes, she can disrupt over and over again, but it's hard for her to
Hmm.
actually like close the game because she's not actually
Yeah.
dealing damage if she's disrupting.
Yep. Uh, Other than that, I think maybe some assassins can come up. I think
Yeah.
Nu has a shot. Maybe
Yeah, I
just the
think
banishing the power cards from decks can be really good. And
possibly.
these aggro decks don't want to block either.
I think that Web of Deceit, the Mark Arachne, is the most disruptive of the assassins because the
Hmm.
only assassin cards that actually disrupt the opponent's hand or arsenal are the Mark ones.
Yeah.
And Arachne gets those, plus they can turn into the demi heroes, which are really, really disruptive. So I think that Arachne is the most disruptive against like an aggro deck, but Nu has a way better matchup into something like Bravo or
Yeah.
Oldhim.
She
And
can play all their
yeah,
blues and banishing their end games like machos and stuff just really, really tank them.
yeah, I think that Nu could play a mark package and kind of try and, get the aggro with those guys and do the blue thing with the fatigue decks.
Yeah. The problem is she also doesn't play. She also plays no blocks. So with Crush or Dominate, she really, I guess, struggles against those. Where
That's
she
true.
herself can be pretty disrupted by Crush and Dominate.
Yeah, yeah. I think that you would play probably very few transcend cards, probably four, maybe five.
Yeah.
Um, but she definitely has that weakness where she can draw, two in a hand and suddenly you just kind of lose. And Sage is
Yeah.
such a fast format, even in the fatigue decks. You've only got 20 life, so it's faster than CC. Um, one slip up can lose most games. Okay. So we've got an interesting sort of meta. We can't talk about it much because we haven't actually seen day two of this event from when we're recording this. I think it's actually happening right now, but we haven't got the numbers or anything.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're going to start talking about Pen and how it affects these Sage decks first, and then we'll start talking about how it affects CC as well. So we're going to talk about three types of decks today. We're going to talk about decks that were already good and Pen made them better. We're also going to talk about decks that were kind of bad or maybe had a small niche but weren't particularly good, but they are now maybe good. Hopefully, they're going to be a meta contender or they got some new tools that make them relevant. And then the third type of deck we'll talk about is heroes that got left behind. Heroes that didn't get the tools they need to jump from bad or niche into relevant. So we're going to talk
Sounds
about,
good.
yep, for each of those categories, we'll get a CC and a Sage hero. We're also going to start with Sage. But before we really jump into that, I want to talk a little bit about the idea of heroes that feel like they're almost there. So there are many heroes in Flesh and Blood who feel like when their deck is running, when they're functioning at the top of their variants, they are really strong, but often they feel really weak because they're running at the bottom of their variants or the variance is too wide. So for LSS to balance these heroes, they have to balance both the top and the bottom, making it probably really, really hard. I think of Vincent immediately, a hero that,
Mm.
when functioning, is ridiculous, and with particular tools, could become a S tier meta defining deck. What other decks can you think of that aren't really good unless they're running at full power, and that's why LSS is maybe a bit afraid of them?
Instantly comes to mind for me is Puffin. Um,
Oh
Puffin
yeah,
has such crazy, crazy power turns and some insane cards that honestly feel like they are cheating. But then they hit a hand of full cogs or
or no
a hand
cogs.
that no cogs at all, or they just kind of lose steam a little too early and the deck just falls apart.
Yeah,
Um,
I think Puffin's a pretty
Puffin
good
for me.
example. We also see some other decks that run instants like Acilio, although Acilio has so much consistency. Where is Acilio? I can't find him. There he is. He has so much consistency through his hero ability that he kind of gets around that.
Yeah, he kind of offsets his lows by being able to cycle them away.
Often, yes. Uh, I think that another hero that comes to mind for me in CC specifically is Katsu, a deck that if your opponent plays wrong, if they block wrong, or if they get really, really lucky, just obliterates the opponent in a combo.
Mm.
But often, if your opponent blocks correctly or has D reacts or whatever, you kind of flounder and die.
Yeah, you kind of can't push enough damage over to be an issue, and you have no disruption whatsoever if they're blocking correctly.
Yeah. I know you think about Jarl this way sometimes as a deck that
Unfortunately,
when you
um,
like mangle them on turn two, it's really, really good.
Yeah, once the the Yao power of getting your crumble or your tutor for crumble in your opening hand, being able to play it, put a -1 counter, and destroying it on the next turn or a subsequent turn feels so strong. Once you start making those frostbites every round, your opponent can just completely crumble under the pressure.
Yeah.
However, if you do not see a mangle or any way to get your crumbles early, and your opponent just doesn't block with their armor, you can just fall behind pretty quickly. He just has such a hard line he has to follow, and if you don't hit it, he just feels pretty worthless, honestly.
Mm. One more I want to talk about in CC is Marlin. Marlin is a lot
Yeah.
like Azalea in the sense that if she hits you with an arrow, you probably can't play the game. And then she hits you with an arrow, and you probably can't play the game. And then she hits you with an arrow, and you probably can't play the game until you die. So she takes away your ability to block, but also your ability to play the game when she's functioning at full power. But because she has so few harpoons and she has sometimes a lot of difficulty getting cards into Arsenal, she has a lot of variance that makes her weak. If you miss that first harpoon, getting to your second one is often very hard.
Yeah. 100% agree.
Cool. I want to talk about some Sage heroes as well while we're here. Immediately comes to mind for me is Benji, a deck that is relevant in Sage, especially into the fatigue slot guardians, especially things like Old Him. Maybe not so much Bravo, because Bravo is probably just going to kill you. But I mean, this deck seems pretty interesting. It does have the problem where every card it plays is underrate and bad, or doesn't use the hero ability. But I think the LSS is afraid to bring this guy to CC and afraid to give him too many tools in Sage.
Totally fair. For me, it's I know I talked about it a bit earlier. Icelander.
Yeah,
Um, Not having a weapon really just does kill her. She can't overcome some of these like guardians in the meta. They can just fatigue. She also doesn't have enough disruption to where she feels like she can shut down whole turns just yet. And
yeah,
she doesn't have that. Like she's not very good at blocking either. As she has to play cards from her arsenal, which usually might cost something.
yeah.
Also, filling that arsenal is
A little
sometimes
mission on
rough
its
when you have to
own.
block. Yeah,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think that Iceland is a good call, especially since they took her weapon and didn't give her a new one. She's just kind of. I was toying around with playing Talishar Icelander,
hmm
just to have 12 damage on board into the aggro decks um if they leave you with a card that you don't feel like arsenaling because you frostbite them and then they leave you with a card, you swing in with Talishar, I guess.
yeah.
Okay.
It's yeah,
Yeah. So there's a lot of heroes that meet this criteria where they feel like they should be really good, but a lot of the time they're not. But too much of the time they are, that buffing them seems hard. This is such
yeah.
a difficult thing for LSS to do, right? So how do you think they've done in Pen as far as buffing this type of hero without making them broken?
Uh, I want to say good. Um, I feel like Pen is a very good especially for the first ever showing of Sage.
Yeah.
Um, I just feel like there were a lot of classes that just didn't get enough love. Um,
Oh, Ranger.
Ranger definitely 100%. They got absolutely nothing.
They got
Like they got
this.
so many traps, but
Yeah, they got this
uh,
stupid little bow.
yeah,
Yeah, I even think
the
of
bow that actually means nothing.
it does, currently does nothing. Runeblade's got a little bit, not a lot.
Mm. Ice for me, the
Yeah,
more I look at ice, the more I'm like, yeah, these cards suck.
a little bit. Yeah,
Conquer the icy terrain, 3 for 7, cool. That text box doesn't matter a lot of the time.
yeah. It's very difficult to get things frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they did do a very good job, especially balancing into Sage.
100%.
I
Yeah.
think that Sage really needs its community bans.
Mm.
I kind of wish we did it in this season. I understand why they didn't, but I feel like once Sage has the community bans set to set, it's going to feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Um, although next set in 3 months or whatever, Chain will be back, so they're going to have to ban some things out of Chain, which probably means Vincett's probably getting hit again.
Yeah. Hopefully those hits will also maybe get some stuff out of Briar. I know she's gonna probably definitely be banned
Oh,
by the community.
she has to take some bans like within the month, or I think
Yeah.
she's running away with the format.
Yeah, and 3 months is a long time for a format to be controlled by a hero,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
not everyone's gonna like that. I feel like it could definitely push people away from the format if it's just Briar for 3 months.
Mm.
So I feel like they have to make an emergency ban soon for her.
Okay. Do we feel like LSS broke any heroes in Pen? Did anyone get something so strong that you feel like in CC or Sage they're about to become way too good?
Um, hmm. I don't think so, honestly.
No, I don't
I
think so
think
either.
I think they balanced it very well. In terms of not breaking anybody.
Yeah,
Like Briar didn't actually get much from the set. She's just already a very good hero.
I can't think of a single card she plays from Pen in Sage.
Yeah. I've seen a few decks play Sprout Strength, but I
Oh,
don't think
actually,
it's
yeah,
important.
that's right. They do definitely.
Yeah. It's the only
Yeah.
one I can think of though off the top of my head.
Um, yeah, maybe. Well, I'm going to talk about that later anyway. So
Yeah, sure.
they did a pretty good job. Let's get
Yeah.
into our actual main topic sort of conversation. So we're going to start with Sage,
Yeah.
and I'll start us off with a hero that was already good and got better.
Yeah.
And that for me is Briar. Like we've talked about, Briar is really, really good, and she did get better. If we look at the Runeblade cards, she didn't really get anything notable from here. She could play something like Weeping Battleground as another Sigil of Suffering and try and get the opponent, but think that she's not usually playing that.
Yeah.
Uh, and in the Elemental area, she ended up getting Sprout Strength, which is just a second copy, well, like a 10th copy of Nimblism for the deck. The deck
Hmm.
has so many 0 for 3 non attacks, making her hero ability to make an embodiment of lightning way more consistent. And this is really the only buff that she got, but it's also not something she needed. She was already
Absolutely
so
not.
ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
I don't think she got really anything else at all.
Yeah, I think that's all
Um,
she plays.
but she just doesn't need anything else.
Yeah.
She could play some cards like Ion Charged, which is a little bit like an Art of War, but only for go again attacks.
Hmm.
Probably not, but it's interesting. She could be playing things like Overcharge, but then she'd have to play Instance, so probably not. But mostly it's just Seeds of, Sprout Strength being really, really good.
Yeah.
What hero did you choose, Leo, that was already good and got better?
I chose Fire for was already good and got better. Um, Fire that burns within is actually such a crazy card. The more I see it, the more I'm like, wow, this card's ridiculously good.
Yeah, for
It fits his
sure.
cost curve. You get to draw an extra card for the turn because you're going to get your Phoenix Flame back with your ability. Um, and also, Inflame the Firebrand is also just a pretty good card for him. A red 3 block, that's good enough, honestly. A 4 cost go again sometimes is also great.
You mean a four attack
Yeah.
go again?
Sorry,
Four
4
cost
attack.
go again.
4 cost go again, not so great for Fire. 4 attack go again, that's pretty great. And it blocks 3.
Yeah, for sure. These cards are both really, really strong. We're seeing definite play in Sage and CC.
100%, yeah.
Any other cards that he received?
He did get the Bannermans and the Four Feathers of One Crown, but I actually haven't seen anyone be playing those at all
I
yet.
feel like these cards are bad. We talked about that in our
Yeah,
set review. I think these cards are probably bad.
I think they are bad, but they could have a place.
Could
They
have a
won't.
place. What about the ninja cards? Did he get anything from the ninja section?
I don't think he did. I don't think he has any reason to play any of the
No,
cards from the
not
ninja
really. Not
section.
really. Well, the equipment, right?
I was gonna say, yeah, he did get the Mask of Swarming Claw and the double cross trap, which are
Both very strong.
so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think five for sure.
And we saw that in the pulling. There was a 60 something fire. There was quite a lot of fire because the
Yeah.
deck is good.
I did see. I think the day one there was a fight. He was like 7-1. I
Oh,
think.
really?
Yeah, he was going absolutely crazy with it.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw that on stream. There was a feature match between that player and like an old him.
Yeah, something like that. It was. The deck's so cool. I love Fi.
Can't wait to see. All right. A hero that was bad but got better in Sage, Leo. Who can you think of that was bad but got better?
For me, it's Dorinthia. Or honestly, kind of any of the warriors.
Just warrior in
Uh,
general.
just warrior in general, but I'm going to stick with Dorinthia as she is my favorite. The armor that all of the warriors got is just kind of crazy.
Yeah, I can't believe
um,
they. Well, I can't believe they printed this warrior really needed it, but yeah,
yeah, I don't think they needed all four pieces, honestly. I think we could have been fine with maybe two, but temper two on every piece of equipment is
yeah.
pretty insane. I don't think the cards exactly are made for warrior in Sage. They all seem to be Hala cards.
We might be
Um,
getting a young Huller. I think we probably are, and then maybe they
Most
could see
likely.
play there.
Yeah, but I think honestly, just the armor alone really boosted Warrior and Dorinthia to
Yeah,
be very good.
totally. I
And for
think it's
you?
good that there's four of these because it means that most warrior decks don't want to run all four unless they're
No,
like flipping an axe and just trying to fatigue the opponent.
Olympia.
Yeah, yeah. Most Dorinthia are probably doing a similar thing.
Yep,
But I think that just being able to run two or three of them instead of like a Blade Beckoner is really strong.
very strong.
For me, my hero that was kind of bad and is maybe playable is Florian. I think that Florian in Sage specifically had zero identity because you couldn't turn
Mm,
his hero ability on, and other than that, he's completely worse than Briar, right?
100%.
But with Runic Felling Song being a 3 for 7 that gets you to banish an aura, which can be an Earth aura, meaning that the next time you decompose, you can banish triple Earth, and your hero ability is just on. So you can do it off one decompose plus a Felling Song or a Sigil of Sylphidae. I still don't know that one. So these are really strong reasons. You can also do it off Weeping Battleground. So you've got even a defensive way to do it, a little bit like Rootbound Carapace.
Yeah,
He also got the new equipment, especially Beckoning Haunt. The arms are really, really strong.
very strong.
Yeah, really good. And then
Yeah,
if
the
we go
Blade
down
Break
to
2.
Earth, he even got kind of a specialization. He got the Chorus of Rotwood, which helps him stack, and he can play Scepter of Pain if you really, really want to stack. Most people, I think, are just playing a weapon, but it's
Yeah,
worth thinking about. And finally, he got Verdant Tide, which is a non-attack that is basically a Mordred. It turns on his hero ability. Basically, it doubles any auras you would make. That stacks with the hero ability if you have it as well. It makes an embodiment of Earth. Like this card's really, really strong.
yeah,
And it gives him a lot of identity now that he actually gets to do the double aura thing.
100%.
Yeah. I
It
think
is
he has a
crazy that they did.
place.
I feel they just did print a Mordred tied at rare.
Yeah. I think that he does have a place as a sort of fatigue breaker by doing some
Hmm.
stacking. It's still bad
That's
into
fair.
aggro decks though, really, really bad.
Unfortunately. Or fortunately,
Yeah, I
whichever way
think
you
it's
feel.
fortunate to be honest. All right, what about a hero, Leo, that was bad in Sage and continues to be bad in Sage?
uh, for me, personally, Teklo. Honestly, quite a few of the mechs. Max and Teklo to be exact. But I'll stick with Teklo. Um, he got like quite what seems to be a lot of cards.
He
The
got
Evo
so many
bases.
cards.
He got so many cards. The Evo bases, the heavy metal, hardcore, um, the Teklo Trebuchet 2000 blast rig. But I just don't think they're gonna do anything. I think he still sucks in general. He's gonna lose into aggro super hard because he's not gonna have time to set up his Evos. And I think fatigue decks can just wait him out and grind down his immense blocking, and he's still got a
Yeah.
boost, so he has half a deck still.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he got nothing.
You can like race aggro decks by being a boost deck that kind of gains life through armor.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good plan, but it's kind of a plan. But then
Yep.
you probably throw your life away into fatigue decks because you're boosting. Whereas
Yes.
if you try and
100%.
do the slow thing, you lose to aggro and maybe beat fatigue. He doesn't really seem
Possibly.
to have a deck that does both, and I'm kind of dubious that his deck can do either, to be honest.
Yeah. He seems like right in that middle where he can't do either, and he can't do either well.
Yeah.
And if he tries to do both, he can't do it.
He sure did get a lot better though. I think he
Sure,
went from
sure.
like a 1% win rate to like a 30% win rate.
Maybe. I'd be surprised if it was even that.
uh,
And what
well,
about you for your weak deck? Still weak. Didn't get
yeah.
enough support.
I think that Levia got so many tools in this set, but I don't think she's any good still. She
Yeah.
got the new really strong Brute Armor, Buzzard Helm, Predatory Plating. These are really strong cards. She didn't really get any cards from the Brute section though. But she also got some Shadow stuff. She has a new Temper 2 arm piece, which is really, really strong to go with the rest of the heavy block Brute Armor. She got
Mhm.
Pound of Flesh, which is kind of a cull. It's interesting.
Yeah, sound like oh.
She got Engulfing Shadows, which is one of the only 0-4D reacts in the entire format. Like, she got
That's
so much love, but the deck still has the issue where into aggro decks, you have to wait until you have Graveyard to start playing the game, and
mhm.
then you are outraced by those decks, and
Yeah,
then you start blocking and taking Blood Debt and you die.
yeah.
And into Fatigue decks, she probably has a better chance, but she has to go way over the top, and it's really hard for her to do.
Not to mention,
Yeah.
she still has to fill her graveyard at the start of the game against fatigue decks who just aren't going to attack into her.
Well, yeah, they're just gonna like swing
Wait,
a hammer. You fold your entire
yeah,
hand into a hammer. Like,
it's just you're losing so many cards from deck for
yeah,
not a whole lot of gain.
yeah. Just like Teklo, she got so much better, but she started off so low that she's still not very good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna start us off with the CC
Yep.
heroes. So a deck that was good in CC and I think just got so much better is a Cilio.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked about this. We couldn't really think of another hero that fit this description.
Mhm.
So let's just talk about Cilio for a bit.
Yeah. 100%.
Basilio received a bunch of wizard cards that are kind of weird. So the equipment kind of sucks. A lot
Yeah,
of it is
equipment's not good enough.
blade break and it does a thing. But most of it is kind of worse than other equipment. Temper Stances is worse than Stormstriders. Shroud of Fate Watcher is worse than Talismanic Lens. Robe of Resourcefulness is stronger than the other wizard's chest that makes a resource, Spell Fire
But,
Cloak.
but he's playing Old Knocker anyway, so.
Yeah, but also your opponent has to block for it to do anything. Sorry, they have to attack for them to do anything.
Yeah.
But what he did get was Future Sight, which makes 3 Fate tokens, Sigil of Fate tokens. And this is
Get
really
three
strong
tokens with sigil.
because it makes 3 Sigil tokens. With his arm
Ah,
piece that amps whenever a Sigil leaves. I played against an Acilio earlier today that had two sigils on the board from a previous turn. I went to pass, and they used their old knocker to play Future Sight. And then their turn, they activated their arms, and they amped 5 because of all the sigils leaving. They also got to opt 1 3 times, and then flip the top card of their deck with Temporal Manipulation Sigil, which can draw them a card if it flips the right type of card, which is so good. He also got Glyph Power Spell, which is a 2 for 6 arcane.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. And he got another light up the leaf, essentially.
Yeah.
Or
he gets Burn Bear and Glyph
Burn
Power
Bear,
Spell.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. They printed a specific light up the leaves for Acilio.
Yeah. And in CC specifically, he also gets Temporal Wobble, which
such an interesting card.
It's by far the best counterspell that LSS has ever printed.
It might be the only playable one.
It's yeah. Once we've got the ruling that you could not bounce Gravy's allies with the previous one, Aetherize, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, this card's really, really strong. I'm fearing playing Vincent into Acilio now, where I play like a Dirge, and without it, my turn won't function, and they temporal wobble it because they have 1 sigil. They just need 1.
I fear playing in an Icequake against Acilio, and they counter my Icequake.
Yeah.
And cry.
You get your action point back, but you don't get the resource, you don't get the card. Like, yeah.
It's so sad.
Glyph Destruction Node seems like, ridiculous into Gravy.
Yeah, insane to Gravy.
Yeah, it doesn't kill Chum, but it does wipe out pretty much everything else.
Yeah.
So this is a really strong core for a very different type of Acilio deck, right? You can't play Gone in a Flash combo and these cards.
It seems like a heavy arcane damage focused deck.
Yeah.
Which I don't like, but I can understand.
Yeah.
Amping 5 from 1 Future Sight and a few leftover sigils, or even amping 4 is still a pretty massive amount of damage.
Yeah. He didn't really get any... Oh, yeah, the one really good lightning card he got was Strike Twice, which is 1 for 3, but you can cast it as an instant if you dealt Arcane.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I played against a very good Acilio deck earlier today that was playing all these Arcane spells. They weren't gone in a flashing, so they had Storm Striders. The goal is to, do this sort of combo-y thing by putting about 6 sigils on the board, doing the amp, doing a big arcane, shooting you in your turn through things like Strike Twice. It's all just very, very good. And it gives Acilio the new sideboarding problem where you don't know, are they going to go in a flash combo me, or are they going to big arcane spell me?
Also, he also got Astrovault Elemental, which is a setup card for Gone in a Flash combo turns.
Yeah, so the Gone in a Flash deck also got some new tools like Astrovault Elemental, Stormweaver's Aegis, maybe, as a sort of
possibly
save yourself from all of your instants type of card.
Cloud Cover, I've seen a few people be playing. Just the red one.
That's an old card though, technically. That came in the Aurora First Strike deck.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
No one really played it, but
Fair.
It could definitely see play. And Overcharged being a 1 for 4 go again in most circumstances. Yeah, so both versions of Acilio got something, and he now has an entirely new sort of deck type, which is just going to make it frustrating to sideboard against him.
He already was pretty hard to sideboard against, whether he was going Gone in a Flash combo or a mix of that and Arcane, or a heavy Arcane deck.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be even more difficult to sideboard for.
Yeah, totally.
Which sucks. Hopefully, though, he'll die quickly.
I mean, Rosetta's got to leave, right?
Sure.
Verdance is basically gone, Acilio will be gone, then Rosetta will be no more.
Yeah. We can dream. We can dream.
Okay. So we talked about Acilio. We didn't really have any other heroes that strongly fit, were good, got better. Decks like Verdance didn't get a lot this set. Decks like Arachne Marionette didn't really get anything this set. Um,
Yeah.
so we thought that Cilio was the only one
Facilio,
that really fit this criteria.
yeah. I yeah. I feel like he's the only one who got a whole new deck type that you kind of have to play around now. Whereas everyone else kind of got like one or two slight support cards, or even just cards they can swap,
Yeah.
but nothing overly insane.
All right. So let's talk about a deck that was bad but has received tools and now hopefully they're good in CC. Do you want to start us off?
Yes. This might be a little bit controversial. I don't think the deck's bad. I think it has a niche spot in CC, which is Vincent. I think Deep Recesses is such a crazy cool card. Um, and I think Fast and Carcass has maybe a spot
Yeah.
somewhere.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
She didn't get too much from. Oh, she got the Grimoire of the Felling Song, a new book that just makes her in Chef One.
Yeah, it's pretty good as well.
Great card. Doomsaying sucks. That card's not even worth mentioning.
It will be
Um,
good one day.
I think honestly, Deep Reset, DRE as we've been calling it, Deep Recesses of Existence, is might have just that little bit of kick to push her over into being a very good deck.
Yeah.
It's
Not
got
having
so
to
much.
go ahead.
It's just got so much variability. It's got so much thinking from the Vincent player, like banishing your own Runegate cards to get more in your banish zone, or banishing a Binstant even.
Yeah.
And you can also banish cards from your opponent's decks if their graveyards matter. Like banishing Gravy's allies are pretty insane.
Mm.
Um,
I played a game with DRE this morning, and I ran into an interesting new use case that I hadn't even seen before. Right, like
yeah.
I keep exploring new things. There was a turn where I attacked with Deep Recesses into a Syndra. And
Mhm.
I had Cull in hand, but I didn't have a Cull in the graveyard, and I didn't have any way to pay life. But because they take damage, I can play Cull, pay a life, it goes to the graveyard, Deep Recesses, get the Cull, play it as an instant because I've lost life.
Uh,
You can double Cull if you have one in hand. Like, it's so good.
DR is very sick. And for all that for a rare as well is crazy.
Too bad that sucks in Sage.
Too bad it sucks in Sage. I
Ba-bow.
think it has. I think it's got a lot of potential in CC. And the new book, it's not much to talk about. It's a one for one basically, but that along with Cool Hand,
Yeah.
can just like absolutely push those points where you need to have
Yeah.
those rune chins.
It's a great way to use your Tunic late game, especially after your Creepers is dead.
100%.
So good. Okay, well, thank
Uh,
you for doing the mandatory Vincent check-in.
I had to talk about it. I had to talk about the Vincent. And what did you believe got a little bit better?
One of
I
my
wasn't
other
very good.
favorite decks, another deck that I'm
Mm.
famous for playing in our locals, is Bolton. Bolton has had a varied history of being kind of bad and good and bad and good, but he's never actually truly been super duper strong.
Yeah.
Um, in CC specifically, all these warrior cards do basically nothing for him. Bluten, or however you say that card. I'm going to assume it's German.
Yeah.
Uh, this card is good for Bolton. It's a yellow, and against particular decks, it will see play. But specifically in the light package, Bolton got a lot. Where is the light package? It's up.
Also, blunten, as in
Blunten.
blunt, like blunting a sword.
Are you sure?
I'm
I
pretty
feel like it's
sure.
probably a sword move.
Could be wrong. I'll
Okay.
look it up while you keep talking.
Roaring Beam, really strong card. It gives you a good reason to go into no soul. It does something even if you have soul. Very strong. Soulforged Gauntlet, a free soul whenever you want it. That's probably going to see play, although Temper 2 Arms is also very, very good. Duty Bound Blitz, especially in yellow, being a 0 for 4 go again. Extender, that's really good. Blessing of Bologna is an interesting sort of combo-y card that creates courage. It does create a courage when it goes into the soul itself, so that's pretty good too. Soulborn Belief is Illuminate, that your opponent can't interact with, but it's a bit more luck based. Like it has to hit the yellow off the top, but if it does, not only does it have greater power than base, so you can give it go again, but it also can't be blocked out to stop the card going in soul.
Yeah.
Find any information about blunten?
It is just an old term to make something blunt, and then it was used as a verb, blunt. So it was called blunten, and then they just shortened it to blunt.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go. You learned something on
Learn
the
things.
Cussing podcast.
Oh, we're learning things. Yeah, so I think Bolton getting more strength in his yellow package, getting armor that gives him free soul, like this is all very, very good.
100%. Yeah, I can agree. Playing against your Bolton many times, it definitely has that variance of it's pretty good, it's pretty bad, it's pretty good, it's pretty bad. But I think these cards will definitely push him over into the it's pretty good.
Yeah. I think he just needs the right meta now. He's one of those heroes that's kind of waiting for Arcane to leave, or for decks that run a bunch of non-attacks to kind of go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. For decks that are bad in CC and didn't get significant tools, I'll start us off with Marlin. Marlin's also a deck I love to play, but there's also a deck I hate to play against, to be honest. Very frustrating, and I think, like we talked about, LSS might be afraid of Marlin.
Yeah.
The Ranger card pool does nothing for her, really, in CC. She doesn't really get any good tools here because they're all basically traps. Something like Rune Snare could see play, but it's not actually going to fix the problem she has.
Yeah.
And if we go to the pirate section, it's only a little bit better. She gets a new harpoon.
She got one harpoon.
New harpoon's very good. It's yellow, which is a big deal. It kills Arsenal, which is pretty good. You can pair it with one of the buffs that makes it so that opponent can't play D-Reacts from Arsenal this turn.
Guarantee a CNC.
Basically a CNC. But when you don't have that sort of buff, I feel like a lot of the time this is not going to do anything. Like your opponent is going to use their D-React from Arsenal.
Yeah.
She also got Cheating Scoundrel, which is interesting and lets you guarantee get gold and is a buff. But I don't think it significantly fixes what she's going to do. And other than that, she got nothing. So she gets a new buff, a new harpoon. That's about it.
Yeah, she didn't get much. I think, as you said, LSS is scared of her. I think they're afraid of the Azalea playstyle that people really don't like to verse, where it's if they get the right hand, I don't get to play the game.
Over and
that
over
can
again.
over and over roll into itself. So I feel like they don't want that, which is kind of their own fault for designing harpoons the way they are. But yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay. And what about you? What's a hero that was bad and didn't get any better?
Going back to Mech, it's Max. Max sucks. He got assembly module, which is I don't even understand why this card exists. It's basically another hyperdriver in your deck. It guarantees it's an item that tutors a hyperdriver, but you have to crank it, which means it goes away next turn. So it's just a hyperdriver. It's like you played a hyperdriver. Speed Demon. This card has the exact same problem that Max has always had. You have to play hyperdrivers.
Yeah, putting hyperdrivers in your deck. They really want you to put hyperdrivers in your deck.
Yeah. The only cool part you got are heart wrenches, but then you have to play.
Don't you dare badmouth
Clamp Press.
Clamp Press.
Clamp Press is really cool, but this is just a 0 for 5 boost essentially.
Yeah, and you have to like actually have the right setup, sort of.
Yeah, which mech already has 0 for 5 boost, and
not 0 for 5.
Oh, sorry, 0 for 4.
Yeah.
And 0 for 5 is not much better than 0 for 4. Like,
yeah, in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I just think he got actually nothing.
Yeah, I don't think he'll actually be any good with these new cards.
Yeah. He also got Embryo Base Cortex. If you control a Hyperdriver, it gets +2 Guardwell Chest.
Yeah, if you
If
want to
he,
play Evos.
yeah, but then you have to play Evos and Hyperdrivers, which means you're having an even worse time.
Oh, you can play Embryo-based Visor and use your Steam counters that you need to win the game to prevent arcane damage.
Yeah. The best thing that Max got wasn't even from Pen, and it's the Marvel construct Max micro mechanoid or whatever it's called.
Construct Nitro Mechanoid.
Nitro, sorry, that's it. Construct Nitro Mechanoid with Max Marvel. That's the best thing he got.
Yeah. Also, the Hero Max is getting a Marvel in that gem pack, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
So he has to be good if they're giving him a Marvel.
he's so mid.
We just don't see it. We just don't see it.
Unfortunately, I do believe the mech class is either unbelievably good, like Dio, or unplayable, like Max and Tekla.
I think a lot of that comes back to oh, what's this set called? Not heavy hitters.
Bright lights.
Bright lights. Bright lights kind of fucking up the mech class a little bit because Dash was so good at so many things. They had to split her in three,
Yeah.
but they made each of them kind of only good at one thing, and Dio's the only one that's good at a thing that matters.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Puffin's in a spot. I just don't think they're exceptionally strong enough.
She's in our spot. Yes, this is true.
Yeah. She's not as bad as Max and Teklo, but she's not as good as Dio. So
I agree.
yeah. Anyway, that's my harp on mechanologist.
100%.
But Max is for me the deck that got no support, or got cards but no support.
Yeah. So for these decks that we think were bad and didn't get fixed, Marlon and Max. I actually forgot his name. Is so bad. What do you think that we needed to make that deck playable? For Marlon, I think that we need a quiver that draws a card or otherwise helps her load. Something to boost her consistency once per game. So it could be a piece of equipment, but I think her having a quiver would be nice.
A quiver would be good, yeah, 100%. For Max, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know if there's a way you can fix him. The fact that you have to play hyperdrives in your deck is such a big downside. I would say an Evo upgrade like card where it cares about hyperdrivers on board.
Ooh, for each hyperdriver you have.
Yeah, or even each hyperdrive in your banish zone. But yeah,
I feel like more cards like Speed Demon that create the hyperdrivers would be good.
yes, yeah. But that has the problem of you have to have scrapped a hyperdriver.
Yes, yeah. Speed Demon's mid because you have to play hyperdrivers. But if there was a card that did this, say on hit, but it didn't require hyperdrivers, that would maybe be good.
Maybe, yeah. Or even just ways to make hyperdrivers at the expense of your opponent. I think of Pulse Wave Harpoon, but you can either they discard a card or add a card defending, or you get a hyperdrive. You can have choices of making hyperdrive.
Oh, so your opponent gets to choose if they would rather discard a card or give you a hyperdriver.
Exactly.
It's like an ice hero. That's fun.
Yeah, kinda. But yeah, that's what I think of Fix Max.
Yeah. All right, we have one final listener question for the day. Ooh. We actually got to one, which is from Zenwall, a common talker in the Iron Maiden Discord, pretty good Vincent player, says, which classes cards taste the best? Between, Ranger, Runeblade, Mechanologist, all these classes, which ones do you think would taste the best? If you had to eat them, for example, if your opponent was going to win the finals of the Pro Tour and the judges looked away for a second and you had to eat one so that you would win the game.
Okay.
What would you hope they'd be playing?
Honestly, a tricky question.
Yeah.
A lot of Flesh and Blood card. I go, taste has to be with art, right?
Yeah, I think so.
A lot of Flesh and Blood cards just either have people on the art or blood and gore. Flesh and blood, if you will.
Oh, maybe.
Um, I'd probably. I don't think arrows would taste very good, so I'm going to cross out ranger.
It's probably a lot of
Um,
poison if you eat some ranger cards.
yeah. Same reason for assassin. Gonna have to say no to assassin.
Yep.
Um, mech would just taste like coins.
Yep. And like
Uh,
grease.
yep. I feel like warrior could be okay, but I'm gonna go for no.
Warriors taste like metal and hardtack.
Yeah,
Hard
but
biscuits.
but it would be clean, you know. At least I know I'm eating something clean,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
which is why I'm not touching brew with a 10-foot pole.
Right? I feel like
Um,
it stinks.
yeah, that's some rank stuff. Oh, you know what? No, I've chosen. It's wizard.
Oh, I
It,
was gonna pick wizard
it,
too. They're the only class that their cards don't look like they taste awful.
yeah, a lot of them have vibrant, bright
Yeah,
colors,
it's like
and they
lollies, like
look.
candies.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. My little brain. Yeah.
All right,
And if
I'll
my
pick something different though.
okay. If
I
my
think
opponent plays
illusionist.
illusionist, that's basically wizard. But yeah, that's fair.
Go on.
If my opponent plays temporal wobble and I lose the game because of it, I'm eating that card. That looks delicious.
It
It's
does.
like
Look at all the little
bubbles.
lollies on there.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
delicious, yummy, yummy.
I'm going for illusionist because I feel like illusionist cards taste like whatever I want them to be. You know, they're gonna trick me. They're
Mmm.
gonna trick me into believing they're good. So I'm gonna eat that. You know, Herald of Erudition that Prism's sending at me for Dominate Lethal, and it's
Yeah,
gonna taste like the light of
yummy,
God.
yummy. That's something. Okay, what would you say is the most delicious illusionist card?
The most delicious illusionist card. Well, now I have to have a quick look. Quick look. Class illusionist. I went past it. Where'd it go? Stupid. Found it. Tastiest illusionist card. Probably not a Dromai card that would all taste like dirt and dust.
Dirt and Dust and Fire.
I bet the water in Crown of Reflections tastes so nice and clean. Imagine drinking that at
Oh,
midnight.
oh. I'd
Waking up
be
at
chugging
3
that.
a.m.
Yeah.
Well, Necria
Well, I
would be the
know.
worst. Tastes disgusting. Hmm.
For me, I think Wizard, it'd be Frostex. That looks like
Ooh, that looks
such a
yummy.
delicious piece of ice. I'd be, oh my goodness.
Crunch.
It would be so good.
Yeah,
Crunching it. Oh, man, I would love that.
yeah, for sure. I think that Veiled Intentions is. I mean, that's just food, but I'll skip that one. Oh, I think Wave of Reality. Look at all the pretty colors on Wave of Reality and tell me that doesn't taste like rainbow ice cream. You know what I mean? Like, this is just so pretty, it has to taste good.
Oh no, I'm looking at the art, yeah. But I don't know, it's kind of giving me like dishwashing liquid though as well.
I think dishwashing liquid tastes good.
And that's all we'll end the podcast, I think.
Thanks you for joining us for episode 4 of the Cussing Pod. If you'd like to get your listener question actually answered, make sure you put it in the comments below or in the Iron Maiden Discord. Any final thoughts, Leo?
Mm, Wizard probably tastes good.
Yeah, don't eat dishwashing liquid. Good
Yeah,
luck,
that's it.
good games, and good night.
Good night.